When I opened up my eyes, and I can't complain about yesterday, just today's a fresh day. Oh, my friends, those from lights get wrong, jumping around because it's on, and I'm gonna go. I woke up this morning, I opened up my eyes and fresh, Lord, this is a beautiful day. No matter what nobody say, I mean, nobody say, even though it's cloudy, I can. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 11 of Life of a Single Mom with Brittany.
And Creasha.
And we just want to welcome you guys back to another episode for you guys that's tuning in every week. And this week, Creasha has a special topic she wants to hit on. If you guys been watching my morning inspiration videos, we had our first email from someone named Roxanne.
Yeah.
And so we're going to hit on her topics that she wanted us to discuss. So, Creasha, go ahead.
All right.
Let the people know what we're
How
talking
you
about.
guys doing this week? Hope everybody had a great week. A blessed one at that. We gonna talk about co-parenting with the same person that you healing from. Now that's a real deep topic to me because I'm currently going through it right now. I know y'all don't know my story and I'm not gonna, take too much time on it, but briefly, I dealt with my kid's father for 15 years on and off, and I finally found the strength to just let it go because it's just not working and it's toxic. Um, it's crazy because people do all kind of petty stuff when they enrage with you, you know what I'm saying? When you don't get along with that parent no more. Sometimes one of y'all could be immature and that just happened to not be me. I'm trying to do the best that I can, and raise my kids, but it's so hard when you're dealing with a difficult parent and it's just like no matter what you try, you can never get them to see eye to eye with you because they want to have frustrating situations. They want to argue with you. They want to make everything hard, and it's just terrible because the kids have to deal with that backlash, you know what I'm saying? And it's like us as adults, we deal with things and we put our feelings first sometime and not even our kids, and they have to deal with that because if you mad at the dad and you a mom that keep the kids from their dad, it's just terrible. You know what I'm saying? Because he got to go through that. The kids got to go through that and that ain't right. But in my case, it's the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been a hothead in my early 20s. You know what I'm saying? And it's like now that I'm growing up and I'm going into my 40s, I don't want the same thing, and we realizing now that we older, we don't really want the same thing. But why is it so hard to co-parent if y'all both on a mutual agreement that y'all not gonna be together or y'all not gonna deal with each other? That's fine. Have your friends, have your whoever you want to be with, but just take care of your kids and do it in a proper way. Don't always put the kids in the middle of y'all crap. You know what I'm saying? Because just because y'all two parents that don't get along don't mean that y'all can't let y'all kids see that y'all can be adults in a situation. Because the way that we handle our problems in front of our kids have a lot to do with why they attitudes be like that and why they feel the way that they feel. Because sometimes kids feel like they gotta be choosing sides, and I never wanted my kids to be in a situation where they gotta choose sides. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because it's like, for one thing, when we broke up, I made the mistake of going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of Roxanne questions, but I'm gonna touch on that. Going back and forth, it confuses the kids, it confuses y'all because y'all know y'all don't want to be together, but y'all got this history together, so y'all scared to just let go. But in the midst of it all, you really got to learn how to be strong enough to let go, because if you don't like what you're going through and you stay, you're going to keep going through the same shit. And I've been chasing my tail in this relationship for the longest time. You know what I'm saying? And I finally actually realized that I'm ready to just walk away from it, and sometimes I know you've been there, Brittany. You could say you done with somebody for a long time and really be done in your head because you pissed off, but you really know you're going to go back and do the same old thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We were just talking about this
yeah,
a couple of days ago, remember? Like, that's one of the, because you had asked me, like, if my husband, came back and tried to win me back, would I go back with
right.
him? And I said, like, no.
And the reason why is because, not because I don't have love for him or I don't hope that it work out, but because, like you said, I already know what it's gonna be like, because we two different people. We want different things. Our principles, values, and morals don't align with each other. And then on top of the infidelity and all that other stuff, you know?
Yeah. It's like everyone expect you to be cool. You know, when you done with the relationship, everybody feel like, okay, you done, you should be moving on. You know, like it's not that easy. I don't know how it is for men, but when a woman put all her time and effort and love, like you don't understand. Like I changed so much about myself to be with this man, and he still didn't want my ass. That's crazy. Like from when I met him, I was 21 years old. 21 years old, and now I'm finna be 40. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the time I wasted, you know, and I feel like he probably feel the same way. He wasted time on me. Hey, we both made that mutual agreement. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to figure out how we gonna raise these kids and be solid in that. You know what I'm saying? Like if we ain't gonna be solid to each other for nothing else, be solid in taking care of your kids. Stand up for real what you know is right. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to know that your kid deserve a healthy father, a father that's involved, a father that's gonna really put it down, not just pop up and bring clothes and take them to see movies and fun shit. What about teaching them how to read? Going to sit there and talk to the teachers and see what kind of curricular activities they need to be in, any extra stuff that they need to do. Like you ain't worried about none of that. And that ain't cool because it's put on one person, and then people call you an unfit parent because you miss shit. And it's like, how am I supposed to be in all these different places at one time? I'm not the only one that had all these kids. We had them together, you know? So why do I gotta look bad because you ain't on your shit? You know what I'm saying? Why do I gotta neglect the kids from having certain things and being able to do certain things just because you don't want to grow up and do what you supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't making sense.
So, so what I hear you saying is, even though your kid's dad is involved as far as clothes and taking them out here and there, he not pouring nothing into him,
Oh,
and
and
you feel like that's where he's slacking.
yes, really slacking because I do it all. You know what I'm saying? Like when you a adult and you expect your kids to reach out to you and you don't reach out to them, like what about teaching them that you love them and you thinking about them and you caring about them? I'm not talking about calling once a week or a couple times a week. Like if you need to be talking to your kid every day. Cause every damn day that's your kid. I'm not saying be on the phone with them 24/7, but at least touch bases with them and make sure they got everything. Hell, mama might not have everything this week. You know, I might not be able to get their snacks for school this week. I might not be able to take them to school every day this week because I got something else going on. I might be sick and in a hospital. Who I'm gonna depend on? You know what I'm saying? All I can depend on is what? Calling his dad or his mom and asking them to help. Like, when is you gonna step up and be a grown ass man and take care of responsibilities like you supposed to? I mean, it don't make no sense for a kid to be more responsible than you. If your own kid is more responsible than you, then that's telling me you not supposed to be raising these kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't make no sense. Like, and a lot of us women take up the slack for these men. We sit here and rearrange shit so it don't look so bad. But at the end of the day, if we all put men on full blast, they wouldn't even know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't easy for us. We can work, Brittany. You know, we can go to work, we can come home, we could cook, we could do all that. Most men can't even do that just to come home. Like, I mean, it's some men out there that can do that, but all the shit that we juggle every day, let's be real, neither one of our baby daddies can handle that shit on their own. Like, we struggle doing this, but I know darn well it ain't not one of them that we had kids with that could actually put it down like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that we just still have to struggle. Like you said before, they know what type of baby mamas we are. You know what I'm saying? So they know what our kids need and want because they was living with us and we was all providing it. But why it changed when we separated? Why does that shit change? Like, oh, okay, when we together, you could do it all. You know what I'm saying? For me, I know
You just said the key words that y'all
that's
separated.
terrible though.
That's what it is.
That's terrible.
But that's
I
how.
did a trial run, so I know it's the truth. I did a trial run these last past years. You know what I'm saying? I was cool, dibbling dabbing, you know what I'm saying, with my baby daddy. We wasn't together, but we was, you know, kicking it and whatever, whatever. He will
Y'all
come,
forgive me for all these
look,
yawns. I'm
he'll
just
come
tired.
around. He'll pop up, eat dinner with us, go to the schools, go to the daycare, all of that. As soon as we into it, oh, you can't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because I don't want to pop up at your house. I'm not petty. If you want to see your kids, but don't do all the drama with me because see, I don't chase him. I don't care about no women he dealing with. I don't care about none of that. I got my own car. I could pull up. I know where you be sometime. You know what I'm saying? I know where your folks stay, but I don't do that because I'm not on that kid stuff. You know, I'm not a little girl no more. I'm not finna be chasing you. If you can't do what you need to do, then you don't need to be with me. But give me the same respect when I move on. You know what I'm saying? Getting to another question. Roxanne, you listening? Starting over with somebody new, how does that really affect your kids and everybody pretty much in a situation? Well, of course the bitter parent is going to be mad about the situation, you know what I'm saying? But we got to get real on what's happening here. You know what I'm saying? Shit is changing. If you over a person and y'all not dating no more, both of y'all got to understand that eventually y'all going to date. There's really no time limit on how long you should wait, but me personally, I'm not gonna just bring no in need old random man in my kid's life. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a certain type of person to be around because we've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not definitely gonna bring some of the same shit that we already just saw into my household, you know. So I'm definitely gonna date. I'm definitely gonna get to know who I'm dealing with. I'm gonna make sure that they good with kids. Luckily, the one I'm dating don't have no kids, so we good there. Um, you just gotta really see how your kids adapt to that person. You know what I'm saying? Because some men, they like to have different women around their kids. You know what I'm saying? And half of them women, they don't even be wanting to have no relationship with. They just having relations with, you know, and with women, it's different. You don't bring nobody into your home just to sleep around and just to do stupid shit, you know? Like you gonna bring a man home, he needs to be a provider. He needs to be able to teach your kids something. I'm not dealing with no man that can't add to me. If you finna subtract anything from me, then I don't need you. You know what I'm saying? At all, period. Because that's a lost cause. I mean, what am I gonna need you for? I don't need another kid to take from me. I got four. You know what I'm saying? So I know you could touch bases on that too, Brittany.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on 100%. I feel like, especially when you're dating somebody with kids, it's important to be involved. It's important to, because a single mom ain't got time to waste. It's barely any time for the kids between working and household and all that stuff. So if you're going to play games, like that's why I said, now that we older, we a lot more restrictive on who we date, who we bring around.
Yeah.
Like you put more restrictions on who you date as you get older. And I think that, having a man that don't have no kids is a plus always, but sometimes it doesn't happen like that. And when you do date people that have kids, understand that you're not just dating a parent, you dating the kids
Mm,
too. And it's not enough for them to just like you. You need to be involved and pour into them and
yeah.
treat them as if they was your kids. And if you're not gonna do that, then you need to exit stage left because it's a waste of time and it's a disservice to the kids and the mom.
Right. And I know some guys that say, "Oh, she just trying to take my place away from me." Like, listen. Can't nobody take y'all place from you unless you allow that man to take your place. You know what I'm saying? Like I would never be that type of woman. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody taking anybody places because you gave it up. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like kids are kids. They need to be kids and they don't need to be a part of adult stuff. Like the things that we gotta hash out and the things that we dislike about each other, our kids shouldn't have to know all that. They shouldn't have to even talk about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a situation at my house that caused a whole scene in front of my kids. Now, if I wasn't as civil as I was, police would have been called, cousins and drama would have been stirred up. You know what I'm saying? But me being the person that I am today, I don't have time for that. I'm not, listen. I'm not about to argue with nobody over nothing that I know the truth about. You know what I'm saying? Like you only a fool if you stand there and argue with somebody and you know the truth is opposite of what they saying. You just want to be foolish as them. You know what I'm saying? But some things happened at my house this past weekend. Intoxicated parent showing their ass, acting a fool, and I'm supposed to be civil and let my kids go with you when you can't even behave well in front of them. Like, this is the behavior that you have in front of your children that I'm talking about. You can't have in front of your children because it's not teaching them nothing. It's not teaching them nothing. What are they learning by seeing they mom and dad argue, cursing each other out, acting a stone cold fool? Like, that makes no sense. Like, it's bad enough that we got to deal with disrespectful people in the world, but for the people to be in your circle that's supposed to help you and be your village for these kids, like, why is we into it with each other? It makes no sense. If everybody is doing what they supposed to do and y'all not kicking it like that no more, then it shouldn't be no problem when it comes to raising your kids. Like, I don't care if you can't say that you love your kids as much as you say you do, but you can't bite your tongue and talk to their mom on some grown shit or talk to the dad on some grown shit when it has to do with your kid. Like, it just don't make no sense to me. Like, there is no way that we should have problems if we not together and we only co-parenting. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people are bitter and they put the other parent on child support because they mad for whatever reason. But sometimes people just putting your ass on child support because you the one that needs to be on child support because you don't know how to behave no other way unless somebody telling you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm not in the business of arguing with nobody no more. I don't have no time, no effort to give. I got kids to raise. I got kids to mentor. I got kids that have meltdowns. It's a high school kid, a college kid, two elementary kids, and anybody that got elementary kids know it's so much going on that you got to do. They always want you to do something. They always want you to attend something, to send something, to buy something, to be a part of something. So you don't have time. You know what I'm saying? I have kids in sports. I don't got time to sit here and argue with you because I left a pair of socks out when I sent the kids. You the fucking dad. Go buy some socks. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, the petty stuff gotta stop. You're not going to be able to raise your kids if you always being petty. If you always got something nasty to say about the other parent, it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Just be a grown ass adult and understand you had kids with somebody. Y'all don't get along in no relationship type of situation, but for the kids, they deserve your all. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like if you going to give it to a stranger, why not give it to your kids? How you going to be absent in loving on your own seed? How you gonna plant a seed and not make it grow? That's like you going to buy the world biggest, greatest flower and you don't even water the motherfucker. It just die next week. Like, it makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to water these kids and not with candy and hot Cheetos and all of that dumb shit. You gotta talk to them. You gotta understand them. If you don't ask them the right questions, if you don't pay attention to the things that they like and what interests them, you're not a part of their life. You know what I'm saying? When they get teenagers, they don't want nothing to do with you. Nothing. You got something to hit on that, sis?
I think you covered everything. Um, I think, a lot of times it's the women. Well, I can't really say that because I know some women that stalk their baby daddies. But uh, for me, I've experienced the same thing where, like, I try to move on, but the baby daddy don't want to let me move on,
Yeah.
popping up at my house, causing scenes. And that's another thing. Because there's never been a time where I've dated a man where I haven't told him, like, hey, I got this baby daddy, he's crazy, uh y'all got to have more backbone too, because if you letting the baby daddy chase you off, what good are you to the woman or the kids?
Right.
Like, that's gotta stop too. If you gonna date this woman, you gonna have to stand up for that woman. You can't be letting the baby daddy come in and just do what the hell he wanna do.
Exactly. It's got to be a respect level on both ends, you know what I'm saying? That's why we have to just be adults in a situation. We can't work off of our feelings how we feel. Like you could be mad and angry, you know what I'm saying, but you don't got to express that all the time. You don't have to be difficult on purpose because it's no reason for that. You know, like I'm very calm when it comes to my kids because I love my kids and I want the best for them. You know what I'm saying? And then I grew up seeing my mom always cool with her baby daddies. She never had no problems with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched her deal with a girlfriend. She dealt with all of that. So I'm chill on that. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's a woman that's going to do right by my kids, I don't really care who you date. You know what I'm saying? Or what you doing. As long as they not in jeopardy, I'm good. But when it comes just in a disrespectful way, then that's a different story because when I move, I'm not going to move like that. You know what I'm saying? If I bring somebody around my kids, it's not going to be a person that I'm just trying to bring around just because that's the nigga I'm dating that's at this time. You know what I'm saying? No, that's got to be some longevity stuff. Like a person that I see in the future for sure. You know, like my kids ain't them type of kids to where I just been bringing different type of men around them. So they gonna look at me funny anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, mom, who is this? Where they come from? And that's with anybody that come to my house. It's foreign to them, you know, because I don't have a gang of people around me like that. So for you to be in a situation and then your baby daddy calling you hoes and bitches and saying you a slut and you doing all this, you know what I'm saying? You should know me by now. I don't even roll like that. You know what I'm saying? And just the fact that you could be disrespectful, we know you a bitter baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? And they are bitter. For real. They stay telling us we bitter, but how can you be bitter if you the one that left the situation? Because if I was, you know, I would have stayed in the situation. But I was very clear when I made my decision. I knew that it would come some hard times. I knew that I would have to go out of this and struggle getting back on my feet and doing everything on my own. I knew the type of person that I was dealing with. I knew that he would be petty and make sure that he played this based on his feelings, you know, because everything he do to help me is based on how he feel. If we cool, he gonna do it all. If he not, he ain't doing nothing. And I'm just not gonna kiss your ass no more. Like, okay, I'm gonna just let them people make you do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be that. And that's why the child support is in place. But don't sit here and try to play everybody like it's something else, you know, like, because it's not. I work every day. I don't just get government assistance. I get a little food stamps and some Medi-Cal. I don't get cash aid. I work every day. You know what I'm saying? I pay my own damn rent and my own damn bills. So it's not that I really need you, but this is your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's your responsibility. So I should be living great because you should be doing 50-50 of everything. But because we deal with men these days that are kids and they are childish, we have to end up completing the whole damn job. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't even sign up for the whole job, but we have to complete it because who else gonna do it? What we gonna do? Leave our kids 50% down because y'all failed to be the parent? You know what I'm saying? Like if we only did our half, could you imagine how our kids would be with only 50% of what we need to give them? And where's the other parent? Somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, we don't even have to tell these men. They know, like, they legit, like you said, they lived with us and they know how much it costs. When they go buy shit for themselves, they know how much it costs. So you know how much it costs for a pair of shoes or a pair of pants or whatever it is to get your hair done, things like that. Ain't none of that shit free. And just they expect the other parent to just handle everything. Like, I know my daughter's father, every time I let her go out there, it's like he always asking me to buy her everything she needs. Even right now, you know, she just went out there and he already like sent her with this and this. Not that I wasn't, but it'd be nice for you to just have shit set up for her. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a going to give him a pass because this was kind of a last minute thing, you know, on my end, but at the same time, like if you know she coming, whatever money you got should be allocated to your daughter. You
Exactly.
know, like I don't care if it's a unexpected expense. That's a day in the life of a single mom. It's always
Yeah,
a goddamn unexpected expense.
definitely.
So we ain't trying to hear that shit no more.
Definitely. It's like, why? when they help us, it's like, oh, I'm saving you. You need me. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, okay, that's my baby mama calling. She needs some help. All right, I got you. No problem. That's how it should be. Because with me, I'm not going to call you if I don't need you. If I got the money, I'm going to spend it on my kids because I'm not selfish. I go broke for them all the time. So it's not an issue. But if a person got to come to you and tell you your kids need this, this, and that, it's like, why you don't even know that already? You need the same shit. We not kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know exactly what you're supposed to do. And with my situation, my baby daddy had a great set of parents. You know what I'm saying? But it's not their job to take care of everything for him. He gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not gonna keep asking your parents to help me and do this and do that. You need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Be the man that you said you was gonna be. Not for me, for them. You ain't doing it for me, you doing it for them. We loving on the kids right now. You know what I'm saying? These is generations of ours that's coming up. And whatever we don't teach them, they ain't gonna know. And when somebody else teach them, we don't know what they gonna teach them, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these kids out here need full-blown mothers and full-blown fathers. Don't nobody need no half-ass parents these days. These generations to come are terrible. They are terrible. They are internet bound kids. You know what I'm saying? And half of these parents don't even know they damn kids because they sitting there giving them the electronics, and all we see all day is this. This is what we see all day long. Do you know your kid real name? Do you know your kid first period teacher? Do you know any of that stuff? You know what I'm saying? Do you talk on Class Dojo with your kids if you in Vegas? Like, come on, man. That's crazy. Like, we walk around wasting our time with these nothing ass relationships, and then we have all these kids, and then we stuck to take care of them, and then it's a dysfunction. And it's a dysfunction of generations to come. You know what I'm saying? And nobody give a damn. Nobody stepping up. Like, come on now. I had some people on my TikTok telling me the things I'm going through ain't a challenge. How the hell is it not a challenge when you tired every day? When you got a parent that you really need help from and they just don't help you. And it's like, oh, because you got a job? I got a job too. But I still have to work. I still have to cook. I have to clean. I have to shit. Today's Saturday. I went to work today. Why? Because my child support's so low. I gotta work on Saturday. Sabado.
And I'm going to work
It's
tomorrow
crazy.
on
It don't
Sunday
make no sense that we have to do it.
just to earn a little extra
Yeah, and
change. It's
I'm not
crazy.
even mad, y'all. I'm more disappointed in anything because I could take that a
Yeah.
man not wanting to be with me. I can really take that because I don't give a damn. But to do my kids like that, bro, that ain't cool. That ain't cool at all. You know what I'm saying? And I really, really hope everybody that be having something to say really hear this because it's real life. Like, this is real life. People don't talk about it. People just sit there and cry in the bathroom and stress themselves out. I'm not going through it no more. I'm gonna tell my story and I'm gonna help other people tell their story because this is hard for us. It's hard. It's hard getting up every day doing this shit every day in, day out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to work all week and when you get your paycheck, you dead broke the next day because you didn't pay all the bills and ain't nobody coming through to help you. You know what I'm saying? It's the end of the month. Fine.
And it's always some men like jumping in the comments saying some negative shit. Like, it's never a woman coming and saying, oh, well, you shouldn't have had, like, it's always a man, but y'all not saying this shit to these men out here.
Exactly.
The same way you telling us it's our responsibility, we picked up, they did too. They chose to have these
My
kids too,
thing,
so why should they be off the hook?
I always
Inbox
say
scared.
that. I'm telling you. And then my thing is, where is the good man that's holding them accountable? Because I mean, that's like me coming to you and I'm your friend, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, I got like 3 or 4 kids and we always kicking it and you never got I never got my kids. You gonna wonder at one point, like, where the fuck are kids at? Why she ain't never got them? So how y'all telling y'all homies y'all got all these kids that y'all kick it with on day-to-day basis and y'all don't never have y'all kids? They don't never hold you accountable and ask you those type of questions like, well, where your kid at? I don't ever see you with your kid. When we gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, get a barbecue together or something like that. Like, none of that. Like, nobody holding you accountable. Like, I sat here and listened to my baby daddy friend tell me all the shit that he do for his baby mamas and all that, you know, and I'm just looking and I'm just looking at my baby daddy like, damn, he don't do none of that. And he try to front like, yeah, I do. don't play me, man. You know I be doing that. But then we end up going to a McDonald's, and because he mad at my son, he don't even want to buy him no food. But you a good nigga. You be doing shit. You do what you supposed to do. No, you do what you want to do. You don't do nothing that you supposed to do. You do what you want to do. And I'm not finna sit here and play them games with you no more, because we know who doing all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Let's be real. That's just like your situation. Oh, okay. We talking about the $25 and the 162. Yeah, okay. What is that gonna do for anybody? That ain't gonna do nothing.
And that's the first thing he asked me to do was take him off child support. Like, man, I can't wait to stop this little $50 a month because it must be killing him.
Mhm.
Like, just to hear him talk about it, like, I just went and bought her some panties not too long ago, and it was $20 just for a little pack of panties.
Man,
So you expect me to believe like that $25 is going somewhere? Now that's why I said now that she out there with him, I want to see if he gonna be asking me for any money, or if he gonna cover it with that little $50 that he get gonna be getting to keep now. So it's just amazing. Like, they know how much children cost, and you know damn well the little money you giving is not gonna cover, especially in your situation where that's supposed to be for three
right.
kids. Like, come on now.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I want to hit on Roxanne's last question before we go on to the next subject. Absent parents having other children and how it changes the dynamic of things. Well, it shouldn't change the dynamic of things because, if you being a real parent, you're going to take care of all your kids. But if you don't have a relationship with all of your kids, do not involve them together until you do, because it makes no sense for you to deal with this kid and deal with that kid, and you haven't even built a relationship solidly on a solo tip. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I have 3 kids by my baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? And the first one, he pretty much was around to semi raised. You know what I'm saying? He don't even talk to his oldest. And that's because of his fucked up behavior. But people always want to blame my kid. And a kid is a kid. A kid only do what they see. A kid only do what they taught. So his actions is because of our actions, you know what I'm saying? And them causes his reactions, which causes our reactions. Either way it go, it's just pretty much, you can't deal with all your kids together if you're not on the same page with all of them. Because see, when you intertwine kids, they get to being jealous, the parents get to being jealous, and if all parents are not equally in an adult state to deal with each other in a respectful manner, it's always going to be a problem. And in my case, it's the man that's the messy person. You know what I'm saying? It's the man that kept the lies going and created the bullshit. But I don't hate on nobody, kid. You do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to take care of all your kids. But don't put your kids together if they all don't even have a good relationship with you. Like, you got to get to know your kids individually. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just put them all together and, oh, I'm going to take y'all to the movies. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. But when are you actually spending quality time with them? Even if you have a household full of all your kids and y'all all got the same mom and dad, each kid still need their individual quality time. You cannot do everything that you do for one kid for the other kid. Each kid is going to require some type of different love. One kid, like for me, my oldest, he's always been independent. He loved me, and I know he do, but he can stand on his own 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? He don't need to be hovered up under me. Versus my second one, he was always hovered up under me. And now I have these twins. One is really connected to their dad, and one is really connected to the mom. You know what I'm saying? But that's even more reason why we have to be on the same page when we raising our kids, because that's doing my twins like this. It's pushing them away because one is on this side and one is on that side, and it's like, but we not clicking. You know what I'm saying? So when they see us come together, we hating each other and we arguing. So now they confused because this one want to go with the dad, this one want to stay with mom, and it's like, he feel like he gonna hurt my feelings because he's going with dad. He feel like he gonna hurt my dad feelings because he's staying with mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be like that. Kids should be equally loved by their mom and dad, and they should be able to love each parent no matter what's going on with us. So what I'm saying is, even if you're mad at the parent, you still let the kids go with the dad. You know what I'm saying? Don't be bitter, mom, because you mad at the dad. Vice versa. Don't be mad, dad, and don't pick up your kids because you want mom to stay at home and not be able to live her own life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if we separated, I'm doing this all Monday through Friday, then it's your turn to have them on the weekend. And don't worry about what I'm doing on the weekend because I ain't worried about what you're doing Monday through Friday. So reciprocate that same respect. You know what I'm saying? And people don't do that because they be in their petty feelings, and you need to grow up. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you probably have to deal with
See,
that.
yeah, that's what I was just about to say. It's different for me because, see, none of my kids' dads have ever really been involved. Like, my oldest kid's dad, he tried to be involved when he first got out of prison for like one visit, but my daughter's dad, he's been in and out her life. He come in like every few years and pop up like, so I don't have that situation where I have to even worry about somebody dad coming to get him. Although I wish I did, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Have somebody that was coming to get him and help him buying clothes and shoes and shit like that. But at the same time, I've already told you, like, I'm so used to doing all this shit by myself. Like, I'm not putting up with no stupidity. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be like, fuck it. Oh well, like I don't even gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about you is that you put up with that shit for your kids. I'm not gonna do that because I already do enough for my kids. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
That's some unnecessary
I just
shit.
wanted to be different from the women in my family, like I really wanted to make it work and live a family life because I never seen that growing up. My mom wasn't with our dad, you know what I'm saying? So I never saw that. Like my dad with my mom and we a family and we going out. It was always separated stuff. I'm gonna do whatever I do with my mom and do whatever I do with my dad. So I didn't want that for my kids, but it came to a point where I had to make the decision. It's either you fuck around and get your kids put in a system because y'all arguing and fighting and toxic and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's to the point where our shit got so toxic that even my kids didn't even want to really see us together because we toxic. So when your kids get to telling you stuff like that, you got to really take heed to what you're doing in your life. And I realized that I was chasing my baby daddy, changing things about myself just to be with him, and he didn't even give a damn about that because where he at? You know what I'm saying? And it's cool now because I'm finally realizing what I need to do now, but it's like don't make it hard because we not going to be together. Like I had to suck it up and still work through that pain. I still had to take care of these kids no matter how hard I cried to get over this shit and get through this shit. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like I'm finally dating somebody new, and psh, it's been good. You know what I'm saying? It's been really good. It's been hard trying to adjust to having a new man around my kids because I never wanted to be like that. But he make it so easy because he's so patient, you know what I'm saying? And so sweet, so supportive. And I just appreciate that because I never felt that. I never had that. My kids never seen me in that vulnerable state because I always was in a rah 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 and not even in a loving mood because I'm always pissed off. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't want to be like that no more. I want my kids to see me healthy. I want to be able to tell somebody else in the future like you can make it through this, you know what I'm saying, and tell them my stories, like what I've been through and all the tragic situations. And of course I'm not gonna give y'all every little story in detail now, but throughout our episodes and stuff you gonna hear some real stuff from us because it hurts, you know what I'm saying, to have to break up your family and to move forward and all of that. But when you meet somebody that's really relaxed and the total opposite of what you used to is different, you know what I'm saying, it puts you in a state of being what's the word I'm looking for? Being soft, you know what I'm saying? Being just girly, you know what I'm saying? Not always having to have your shell hard all the time.
That's what I
Yeah,
always say. Like, nigga want a soft bitch, but you ain't putting me in a position to be soft. Like,
exactly.
when a man puts you in that position, like, your dude taking care of everything, helping you pay, knocking that 162 out the ballpark. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Telling you.
and that's what
Look,
you need, like, especially,
no,
yeah, knocking it out making that
Tiger
162 look
Woods,
like $20 type
motherfucker.
shit.
Tiger Woods, motherfucker. Right.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing, like, That's how it's supposed to be. When a man really care about you, he care about what you care about, which is your kids. You
Yeah.
know, he see that like that's the way to your heart. So that's what he doing. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Uh, you set the standards for how a man treats you and what you allow him to do. Like with my youngest son's dad, like I allowed him to come in here not doing shit for my kids. You know what I mean? Because I've always been so independent. I always felt like shit. These my kids. I'm gonna take care of them.
Right.
And that's not how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Even though they not his kids, he's supposed to love me enough to want to help ease my burden. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I know like a lot of people always say, "Oh, you stupid for not making him help with your kids." I don't think that it's right to ask a man to come in and help with 5 children you already had before you even got with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's nice for them to contribute here and there, but I don't think that you should expect that sole responsibility on them, especially when you have a certain way your kids dress. Like, if they wear name brand shit, you can't expect to put that bill on somebody else. I don't. How do you feel about that, Creature?
I just feel like if you dating somebody, it comes with the package. I'm not saying overdo it and just have a nigga paying everything and doing everything, but I mean, if you dating a girl with kids, like why wouldn't you expect to be helping? Ain't nobody trying to make you date daddy or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm short or I need some assistance, you, my man, that's what you're supposed to do. The same way if you was down and I was up, I'm supposed to help you
Yeah.
out. It's supposed to be like that. You know what I'm saying? There is no stipulations on what you gonna do and what you not gonna do. If we living together, you're gonna provide a roof over our heads. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pay the rent together. We gonna pay the bills together. We gonna put food in
And
here.
that's the
Yeah,
problem. Too many years I didn't put those stipulations
yeah.
or set those
But that's
ground
because
rules,
you
and
had your
I'm living the consequence.
independence.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's independence, but it's also prideful, like not wanting nobody to know that I couldn't handle it. You know what I'm saying? That I need some assistance
Yeah,
because I pride myself on being able to handle my shit myself. But and then that's another thing. Like I'm not gonna tell nobody else really that what's going on, that I can't pay my rent or
yeah,
I can't do this, but I'll tell you. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
See, I was told
So
that.
it's
I was told that one day, like, oh, I don't ask for help because I just want to have it to
uh-huh.
where I tell everybody I do everything for myself, and I'm like, who has
Like
a gay
who
kid
wants to do
and wants
that
to just
shit
do everything by themselves? Like, are you serious?
just to score points? Like
Are you serious? You really want
nobody
to get
wants to do that.
out
Like
early for no reason? Like, no, I don't. I want your son.
and spend all our money just to say we do it.
Exactly.
Like what is that gonna give us? It's sure not gonna give you no satisfaction when you sitting there broke.
Yes.
Like that's what my son's dad says all the time. Like, oh, you just want to do that to score points. Like, what points am I getting? And if so,
Like,
I must have a lot. I should be able to trade them bitches in by now. Like,
it's
I'm
like,
just like,
man, it's just crazy how we always left to pick up the pieces, man. Like, we just got to do
mhm,
everything.
no matter
Like,
what, it's like, damn, like
yeah,
a nigga tired of struggling.
yeah.
Like we always talk about this. Like
And people,
we feel like
let's get it straight though, like, cause people always be like, I take care of my kids, I pay my child support, or I pick my kids up on the weekend. Like, no, what are you pouring into your kids? What are you teaching them? You know what I'm saying? What can they actually say that they learned from you that they're gonna need to, you
what's their favorite color?
know?
What's their favorite
Yeah.
book? What's their favorite subject? You know, like who they friends?
What
Who's their
favorite
best friend?
animal they like? Do you know any of that?
Yeah.
Not what you want them to
Nope.
like, but what they actually like. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you know from now on when you dating somebody with kids, in order to tell if they involved with their kids, these are the questions you need to be asking them. Like, oh, you got a 5-year-old son. What's his favorite color? What character he like right now? What's his teacher name? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's his best friend name? That's how you're gonna be able to tell for you women out there dating. That's how you're gonna be able to tell if a man is involved with his kid or not by asking them that question, because if they involved, they know all that. You know what I'm saying? If they don't, you'll be able to tell by the first or second question. You could bet
The
that.
number one thing a dad that swear he there say is what's my kid's size. They swear they fucking there
Hey,
and they be like, what's their size? You swear you there all
my
the
son dad do that
time.
all the time. He'll go to the store and be like, "What's his size?" You said you involved. Why you asking me? You don't know your son. I don't have to call you when it's time to go shopping. Like, it's
wonder,
crazy.
I
Like,
wonder what do parents really think they kids think when they arguing and at each other throat? Like when you going through it, like, cause I know for me, my older kids, I try not to do that at all in front of my twins, because I'm much smarter and sharper to deal with those conversations than I was back then when my older kids was young. I used to pop
uh
off.
huh.
But it's just like, what do they think when we doing all that stuff? Because all I could think about is seeing my kids, little old poor little old faces screaming and hollering like, stop fighting, stop doing this, and I don't want to look like that in front of my kids. Like, can you imagine what they might think? Like, they be scared
I know
with
what they
them.
think.
Yeah.
I know what they think because when I would argue with my son's father, my oldest son, like you could tell his face, like he would just get his brother and his sister, go in the room and close the door. And then you can tell, like, because the kids' faces show, like, they don't want to hear that shit.
Hmm.
They don't want to see it. And then hearing that all the time, that puts them in like I don't know how to say it, like a defense too. Like they get traumatized by that shit too. And then on top of that, when kids see two parents going back and forth, they see a division and they can use that shit
Against you.
to play the other parent, yeah, against the other parent. So
Yeah.
it's that's why like what you said, like it's important to have a good co-parenting
Hmm.
relationship because like the way I fight with my daughter's father, like you it's easy for her to say some shit to him and he believe it because we don't get along. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all on the same page,
Yeah.
they know what type of person you are. You know what type of person that none of that shit is gonna even be possible.
Yeah.
But
It's pretty much like that. I mean, I don't know, like my older son, he don't even, well, not my oldest, but my second oldest, he don't even really talk to his dad, and like I said, that's because his behavior and the way he treat people. And it's like when you a kid, you can manipulate them all you want, but it comes a time when that kid is not a kid no more and they see shit for what it really is. So don't be disturbed by they actions, you know what I'm saying? Because you caused it. So you just eat it and try to make it better. But if you keep on trying to clean it up in anger and in frustration and in talking crap and being petty, ain't nobody gonna deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And if you, it's just like TD Jakes was saying when I was listening to him. He's like, you gonna win the argument, but you gonna lose the kid because it ain't about being right all the time. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about that all the time. Sometimes you need to listen to your kids and understand where they coming from because they come a time where they have their own feelings and they feel stuff. And if you don't listen to them, it's like you shooting them down. You know what I'm saying? I had a long situation with my son and it took a long time for us to get back to the space that we in. You know what I'm saying? But that's because I put in the work. If you don't put in the work as building it, like our relationships with our kids is pretty much the same as any other relationship. If you don't take time to build it, it ain't gonna happen. Just because you in the same damn house as your kids, I got people that's grown people and they like, oh, my kid don't come out the room and talk to me. Like, how many teenagers don't come and talk to they parents? I'm the type of parent that's gonna make you talk to me. I'm gonna push myself on you and make you have a conversation with me, and I'm gonna ask the necessary questions and get all in your business and know some stuff, but some parents just don't do it. They just sit there and be frustrated. How you gonna get mad because a kid don't want to talk to you? Didn't it dawn on you they might be going through something that makes them not want to talk, and you need to pry a little bit harder so that they can open up and talk to you? But it's just a way that you got to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? But some people just ain't willing to do the work as being a good parent, but they can be a good boyfriend or a good girlfriend or a good friend to somebody, so we think.
I always say that, like, because like I know I've heard my son's father say, like, oh, well, I can't be good at everything. The same way you good at working, the same way you good at cheating and lying and making money and working two jobs is the same way you could be a good parent. It's what you want to do. You
Hmm.
prioritize the shit that's important to you. It's just like us. Like if I didn't prioritize the kids, shit, I'd be living my best life right now. But I have to
You and
prioritize the
both,
kids.
bro.
Like I'm telling you, like all this shit that like I tell my kids all the time, I wouldn't even have a place probably. I'd be traveling the world and living my life if I didn't have kids. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I wanted to go back and touch base on the last question you said about how is it like once the absent parent is moved on and had kids, and how does that look and how does that work out? And my experience, I'm like you, like I never really have a problem with my daughter being around her dad and his girlfriends and shit. My rules is don't do nothing to fuck with my child, and that's it. Like if she tell me that you mistreating her or something, then that's a problem for me, and then we gonna have an issue. But other than that, I'm gonna tell you thank you, and because if you taking care of her and making sure her needs is met, why would I have any problem with you?
Hmm.
And it's like you said, when you not causing problems for that parent, it should be the same way. Give me the same respect, and that's my take on how it is for me. Dating somebody with that's moved on. A lot of the times people don't talk about the effect it has on the kids. Like sometimes the kids feel like you left them behind or you forgot about them, or
And
you know what I'm
you
saying,
gotta
you
be a
moved
big
on and
help
started to
and
home.
talk to them when changes are happening, and you let them know that ain't nothing gonna change. Our bond is stronger than strong. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like no one coming
yeah,
before you. I don't care if I'm dating, like that ain't coming before you. Like we still family, we still
yeah,
doing everything, and just because me and your dad ain't together, that don't mean that we both don't love you and we both ain't gonna be here for you. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
just like we gotta both be on terms like that. Like I'm
That's how the conversation got to go.
yeah, but you can't always have that type of adult conversation with everybody because people get
Especially not with the
feelings.
parents that we got. I mean, the kids' parents we got.
No, not at all. It's just raggedy for no reason. But it's crazy because you do mo. Like it don't even make no sense. Like what we here because of you, not because of me. We
Hmm.
separated and all of that because of you. You know what I'm saying? So why be mad now? Let that shit go. Just let it go and take care of the kids because that's what matters now. That's the total responsibility of separated parents, co-parenting.
It's
That's
just the
the number
kids.
one thing is just take care of the kids. It's all about them, what they need, what we can do to make their life better, how we can make them stronger. Like we sitting here fighting each other, we need to be building our kids up with their self-esteem and they mental. Like how many kids is caused to have anxiety and depression and all these problems because they parents got problems. Like parents splitting up, that take a toll on the kids. Y'all not always arguing and bickering. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear my twins like, why you guys always fighting? Like I'm not trying to fight you. I'm not even trying to deal with you no more than I have to. But just be respectful. Just be respectful, man. Like it's just terrible. Yeah.
And you guys remember that
It's one.
you should be following us on all social media platforms under Life of a Single Mom with Brittany and Creasha. On TikTok, we under the acronym for Life of a Single Mom. That's LOASM 2024. That's on TikTok. And that's on X, formerly Twitter. You guys can email us at LOASM2024 at Gmail and LOASM2025 at Gmail as well. Me and Creasha both run one of those. And tune in every Monday night for new episodes on Spotify and YouTube.
I just want to leave y'all with when you're young, you don't know better, you make all your mistakes, you go through all your trials and tribulations, but it come a time in your life where you got to grow up and you got to understand your mission and you got to take your priorities and put them in place, and you have to grow. You have to put your kids in your first perspective of doing what's right. If you got to pray before you deal with that other parent like I do, then you need to pray about it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody need to respect each other and try to do better. If you do better as a parent, just you, then we all can make it work. Until next time, y'all, have a great Saturday night.
And you guys, for our outgoing message, I just wanted to leave you guys with not too much, just a little something brief. I just wanted for all you people that's dating, like people that have kids, but then that person is not involved with their kids. If you not asking the questions like why they not involved, if you not pushing them to get involved with their kids, you just as sorry as that parent is. Because how can you knowingly be a parent or call yourself a woman or a man, but know that this person is not handling their responsibilities as a man, as a woman? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I'm a parent, I know the effects of not having a parent. So I'm always, if I'm dating somebody that got kids, I'm gonna press the issue like, you better go get your kids. What we got to do to go get them? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's how you should be. And lastly, you guys, I just wanted to say for all my mothers and fathers out there, especially my single parents, I want everybody to let us know what you guys do this week to find some small joy or some kind of inner peace. What are you gonna do? And I want you guys to, we'll touch bases on it on next episode, Creasha, because I want to know what you did, and I want
I
to
want
discuss
to.
what I did. So we not even gonna tell each other what we gonna do until we take the next episode. But
Okay.
do something for yourself, because it's so important that when you stressed and you overwhelmed and you coming home from work and you don't really want to make that dinner and you don't really want to throw that load of laundry in the washer, and you want to don't want to fold those clothes up, instead go do
Girl.
something for yourself, even if it's, yeah, even if it's just going to take a bubble bath and just laying there
When
for 45 minutes, go do that.
yeah.
So that's all I wanted to leave you guys with. And I want you guys to do your best and stay less stressed and more blessed as you navigate your life as a single parent. Until next time, you guys, we'll see you next time.
All right, guys.